Hello, this is Miss Kavanaugh, and over the next few weeks, your student will be working on a project-based learning assignment. The project will focus on making a school brochure. The student's brochure will include information about the school, along with one quotation from a person of their choosing who is associated with the school on the outside. On the inside of their brochure, there will be a map of the school. One twist to this project is that a new student is coming into the school who is blind. It is the student's job to keep this in mind when creating their map and remembering a way to help the student get around the school. For example, a student may choose to count how many steps it takes to get from place to place and include that in their map. A driving question will be provided to guide the students in this project. The driving question for this project is, how would you represent your school in a brochure to incoming students? In order to get students hooked, I will ask students if they have ever used a GPS on a phone or car before. We will discuss how someone had to map out the world in order for us to be able to use a GPS system. Students have three main components they need to touch on in their project. They need a quote from a person they choose to interview, information about their school, and a map on the inside of their brochure. What and how they choose to hit these three components is up to them. This project aligns with the Reading Language Arts standard by having students use their writing skills to create their brochure. It aligns with the Social Studies standard to plan and construct maps to demonstrate knowledge of map skills, and it also aligns with a math standard that students will meet by accurately finding a way to make their map realistic in distance from place to place around the school. In order to complete this assignment, students will have to take initiative to research the layout of their school, any facts they may want to include in their brochure, and interview someone of their choosing who is related to the school for their quotation. This assignment will require students to use their 21st century skills. They will need to be creative in the layout of their brochure so it is visually appealing. They also need to use critical thinking skills to solve how to help a person who is blind navigate the school. They will be communicating with experts from the school to learn information about the school that they can include in their brochure, and finally they will be collaborating with one partner to complete this brochure. Students will first create their project on large paper that they will then receive feedback on before moving on to the final stage of making it into a brochure. A rubric will be provided of the general components that should be included, but it is up to the student on how they complete these components. Finally, students will present their brochures to the second grade class. Each pair will read the information on the outside of their brochure to a pair of second graders. Once the information is read, the pair of second graders will then attempt to use the maps created by the fourth graders to find their way to a predetermined destination on the upper elementary side of the school. That's all there is. This brochure allows for student freedom while I guide them to meet standards and address specific content requirements. I look forward to beginning this project with your students.
Created using Powtoon.